And we're live. Okay, so we got to do some hot takes for Clash in Italy yesterday. I did not, I have to work, and, well, Monday Night Raw is very early today, so I don't have time to do a video with with my work schedule and everything, so I thought I would do a live version of it. First, I want to say, look at the thumbnail that I posted. I noticed this. Look who's on it. There's like a bunch of people who are not even not even at the PLE. Like, and if you notice, this is a growing trend. I've noticed this for a while, but I wanted to call it out today because at this point, they literally are selling us shows and PLEs and whatever, and they just throw anybody on the poster, so you buy it, and they don't deliver the people at all. Trick Williams is on that poster, Randy Orton is on that poster, multiple people, Liv Morgan on that poster that does not appear. This is not the first time they've done it, but I wanted to call it out regardless. They are literally advertising people months in advance because they don't know what they're booking. There's no long-term plan at all. They just say, put them on the poster and card subject to change. If we want to put them on there, we will. If we don't, we won't. So whoever is on the poster, it's like 3 months before, they're like, maybe we'll have a storyline for them at that point, but who knows? It don't matter. Like, literally, go back and check multiple PLE posters. There are people that are constantly being advertised on the posters that have nothing to do with the actual PLE event. Hello, Bishop Marley, Skywalker 3, and Tay Tay Tuavi. I will be doing, this is about a 20 to 30 minute hot take video, then I do have to go to work. But yeah, the poster thing has been getting on my nerves lately, and I might actually do a video on it because it's happening more and more and more. There's just no story. They don't have any stories planned. They just say, make a poster, put these people on it, and maybe not, they'll be on there. Why is Trick Williams advertised for Clash in Italy? Why was he advertised? Why was Liv Morgan, who is now on day 44 of no title defenses, why is she advertised for Clash in Italy? In fact, why was she on the post show even? She didn't do nothing. And I love Liv Morgan. People mistake the fact that I love Liv Morgan, or they think I don't like Liv Morgan because I'm calling out her title reign. And it's not cool. All right, so let's do some hot takes. We got Money on Repeat says, what's up, Go for Launch? Yeah, we got to do this before Raw. I don't have enough time. I have to go to work, too. Money on Repeat says, can't believe Oba took the pin. Still not over the AAA main event. So the AAA main event, Mass vs. Mass, I'm still buzzing from apparently Chad Gable was Grande Americano. I know, nobody saw that coming, versus the other Grande Americano. Do yourself a favor, go watch that. But can't believe Oba took the pin. A lot of people were a little, like, taken aback by my stance yesterday. Like, Chop, you are letting your emotions get in the way of logical booking and stuff like that. And I think people misunderstand what this channel is sometimes. I am not a wrestling journalist. I am a wrestling fan. And I would love to be a wrestling journalist, but I'm not. At best, I do editorials at best. And so when the wrestling fan does, like, his wrestling, we'll just say hero, loses, the wrestling fan gets upset, just like wrestling fans should get upset. Like, I understand why Oba lost, even though Money on Repeat can't believe it. I can believe it. I had a really big feeling that Oba was going to lose. However, I'm still crashing out, and I stand by what I said, that I feel that Oba Femi still should have won. And I really wanted Oba Femi to win for many reasons. I had logical reasons, but a lot of it was just my emotional attachment to Oba Femi. Like, now, and this is no shade at other people, but if Sante Zap or any of those other ones want to just come at it from a pure analytical mindset, that's fine. But I like to mix how my logic and my fandom together. I understand why Brock won. I really do. I still don't like it. And I don't even agree with it, but it's okay. Like, and that's not to take a dump on people who do like it. There's a lot of Brock Lesnar fans out there, and I am happy that your guy won for you, but I'm not happy that he won for me. There are no holes in the storyline, so I'm okay with the storyline as on a logical level, but on an emotional level, I wanted Obafemi to win, and that's okay. Just like I also feel that people who on an emotional level wanted Brock to win, well, then if he had lost, then I would want to hear, I would expect him to act the same way. Then what else? What else? We've got Cody Rhodes needs to go on a losing streak. This is from It's Reek Co. Cody Rhodes needs to go on a losing streak. Brock will lose the trilogy at SummerSlam because Oba won't let himself get hit with a sneak attack. Okay, yeah, so this person just saying, yes, this is going to be a trilogy. This is going to be a trilogy between Oba and Brock, and I believe that. And like Bishop saying, I was hoping we were going to have a Seth Rollins Cody Rhodes trilogy where Oba just won 3 times. This person says Solrook is overrated and being pushed too soon. Jacob will eventually cost Roman the title. Okay, so they're just going over what they think. TTJC, Oba and Jade should have won. That that's opinion. I wanted both of them to win, but Jade, I understand her losing, but Oba, I'm still not over that one. I feel I love AEW wrestling. I feel like Gunther wasted his golden ticket that he had with Paul Heyman on Cody, and I can't believe no Sammy or Randy interfered. I absolutely agreed. What's up, Long Neck? That the Gunther storyline, they wasted it. Gunther got a favor from Paul Heyman to go to SmackDown and get a title match. But, I mean, Jacob was able to go to Raw to get a title match. No favor was needed for that. So why did Gunther need a favor? Cody literally says, easy to find, hard to beat. So Cody will take on anybody. It's like Cody has an open challenge without saying open challenge. He will let anybody fight him. And so Gunther didn't need to go on that level. So yeah, they just completely burned the golden ticket for no reason whatsoever. And then he ended up losing also. I guess maybe if they wanted to salvage just a little, they could say that Heyman wrote a rematch clause in there. But even then, Cody has already said, oh yeah, at the post show, oh yeah, his foot was under the rope. Gunther definitely needs a rematch. So, just a drop story altogether, or just a story. They just threw it together. ChatGPT, they didn't bother to ask ChatGPT to double check the facts. They just had whatever it said, they just did it. Errol Noir, they're booking Oba too strong. 4 consecutive F5s, 1 through a table, and he was still up. 6 F5s. How do you justify him losing in the future if he can take Brock like that? Writing themselves into a corner. Now, I actually kind of agree with that. Even though I was all like, Oba should win. We don't need to book Oba like Brock Lesnar necessarily, because I remember just a couple months ago, like maybe 6, Obafemi having legitimate matches with Javon Evans. That is the Obafemi that I liked. He was still a specimen, he was still huge and he was still tough and he was everything. But he could have a match with a Javon Evans. He could have a match with a Trick Williams, an Ethan Page. But the way they have booked Obafemi right now, he really can't. The way they have booked Obafemi, can you imagine Ethan Page going up against this Obafemi? Obafemi is too powerful, and you can make Obafemi undefeated or go on a huge power streak while still making him you could beat him, because Obafemi, in the end of the day, a year from now, we need Obafemi to be a guy that has challenges still. So I actually, even though I think Oba should have won, and people are like, wait a minute, that's two different, you're saying 2 different things. No, I'm not. I'm saying Oba should have beat Brock Lesnar, but they're making Oba too powerful at the same time, because what does he do after this? We need him to be able to fight a Javon Evans where Javon has a chance, but we know at the end Oba's going to win. Does that make sense? You know, this Oba Femi is just a little too powerful. And I'm very much of Oba should not have lost. We got Winford says, who do you think will be the future face of the WWE? Trick Williams. If Hollywood does not steal Trick Williams has everything. If they just allow it to happen. I fear, though, they're starting to pull back on Trick a little and push Little Yachty too close. It seems like Triple H does this thing where he sees somebody is popular, so he pulls back on them so the crowd doesn't get tired of them. It's like, we're not going to get tired of Trick Williams. Just give us more Trick Williams. Give us more Trick Williams. Let him be the actual face. And they did that with Cody even. Look at Cody. He's the face of the company right now, and he's barely on shows for 10 minutes. Like, they pull back on these people because they're afraid that we're going to get over, like, we're not going to get tired of the face. We never got tired of Stone Cold. We never got tired of The Rock. Like, just, it's ever, like, don't pull back on these people. And I can see them already starting to pull back on Trick Williams. And in reality, that goes down to with Oba Femi. Oba Femi could be the face of the company, but they've taken only one element of his character, the unstoppable part, and that's all he is right now. So they pulled back on a lot of what made Oba Femi great. Every time Oba was able to get on the microphone on Monday Night Raw and talk for more than 2 minutes, it's been really good. But they pulled back and they don't let him. So that's my fear. But Trick Williams, I would say right now, has probably the best chance of being the face. Oba will probably be the second. It'll be like a John Cena Batista situation. Batista was never the face of the company to like the outside world, but he was kind of the face within WWE. So Trick will represent WWE to like the Tonight Show, while Oba will be like for the fans. We got Just Call Me D says, this is the Brock everybody loves, absolutely relentless, and will use his pure power to win. I understand people are upset it was against Oba, but I believe it will benefit his career in the long term, working closely with Paul Heyman and cementing himself as a top wrestler in WWE. SummerSlam feud loading. So yeah, I'm thinking it'll be fine long term. I don't think Oba got buried or nothing. And I can, like I said, I understand the reasoning, and I think it could benefit Oba also. I think 3 matches with Brock is not going to hurt the guy, but, I think it could have benefited him. 2 victories over Brock also would not have hurt the guy, but I get it. I'm happy you're happy. We have Carmichael says Jade Cargill should have been an ultra babyface months after that gash in her eyebrow happened, because that moment of her yelling to the camera, bloody face, was absolute BA. I do agree that I was very much we got to turn Jade Cargill heel. We got to turn her heel. But when she got that gash and she yelled into the camera, they should have made her a baby face right then and there, like they did with Becky Lynch when she got her face smashed in by Nia Jax. But they didn't. And you know why? Because Triple H does not like to pivot. He had a storyline. He wanted Jade to turn heel, so he turned her heel. And that wasted her yelling into the camera. That was the first time in WWE that I saw a lot of passion in Jade Cargill, and they should have kept her. They should have at least done one more month of her as a babyface to see if she could have got over, because she was bleeding and she did not back down. But now that she's a heel, we can't go back. They kept the course, and I think that was a missed opportunity. Jade should have stayed a babyface in that moment. Love how they used Jessica Carr, Teddy Boy Ward versus Sol Ruca. She was very vocal during the match, a near bump, but Jessica versus Becky is coming to share. Yeah, Jessica versus Becky, I really hope they pay this off. They really, really hope they pay this off, and this is what gets Becky the best in the world, and that's not just me saying it, that's Sports Illustrated, that gets her out of the main event scene, or gets her out of the Intercontinental scene into the main event scene. Dyer Gibson says, Roman versus Cody 3, Part 3 needs to happen ASAP. It's going to happen. They've already teased it backstage. If you go to my the other channel, the WrestleChop Plus channel, you'll see a short where Cody and Roman actually have a confrontation backstage. They look at each other. It's a face-off, and then Cody keeps walking. That is because Night of Champions is around the corner. Therefore, I gotta get to work. Therefore, Cody's the champion. Roman's the champion. It's happening. Night of Champions, June 27th. Let me do a little more. I don't feel like I got any in. These hot takes. Gunther should have won, says Killer Wolf, and attacked Cody. Oh no, Gunther should have went back and attacked Cody after the match. Absolutely, absolutely. Gunther should have been so irate that he did not win that he attacked, and he attacked him viciously. We should have got like maybe even a scary injury scare, you know what I mean? But it should have been. Gunther should have been so freaking mad about that. Errol Noir, my day job is restaurant GM. We got Magic of Philly. It's quite a feature to have a show with 0% correct winners, and it shouldn't be called Wrestling Show. It's a tele-shopping channel for wrestling breaks. 0% correct winners, I mean, I think they had some of the correct winners. Some of the correct people won. I don't agree with everybody, but at least logically I do see. So that's an opinion. That's an opinion that you think that 0%. But I think I think it was 44% of the show was wrestling. So over 50% of the show was not wrestling on a wrestling show. So I will acknowledge your second part of your statement. The Dude Drew says, I don't know about all that, but the mask versus mask match was lit. Okay, so the AAA mask versus mask match, like I talked about in the beginning, yes, that was absolutely amazing. Best match of the year from both AEW and WWE. It was in AAA, and probably the best WWE match I've seen since Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Io Sky, WrestleMania 40. But even then, this match might be better than that. Yeah, I think it was. The Grande Americano match, I think was the best match I've seen in years. Roman Cody, that was so great because of the final 10 minutes or final 5 minutes. We got Jimbo Slice says, I feel like WWE took the safe route with their winners tonight. They definitely took the safe route. In fact, about a week before Clash and Castle, there was a report saying Brock Lesnar, Rhea Ripley, and Roman Reigns are very heavily right now being considered to win, and then they were. It was just very, very, very safe. Let's see. Cody Rhodes has nothing. This is Chusantino's. Cody Rhodes has nothing on Roman Reigns, and tonight really showed it. Cody opened and had a bad ending, and he didn't do much to help the bad booking, while Roman main evented and had an absolute banger. You know, although to be fair, some people thought that Roman Reigns match wasn't even that good. But to be fair, on top of that, I guess there was an injury scare on Jacob Fatu, so they wrestled a very different match because they wrestled a very brawling match that allowed Jacob not to have to wrestle as hard and his wear and tear on his body because of the potential injury. I don't know, that is a rumor, but if you liked it, great. Although I'm with Teddy Boy Ward, it didn't really feel like a tribal combat war. It felt more like just a no DQ match. And then Killer Wolf says, to be a bit more clear with my hot take, Gunther should have taken the title and beaten down Cody like he promised. Yes, I agree there, because then his promise could have been legit. So you're right. I agree there. He should have put him in the sleeper, taken his title. That way his promise could have came true. They probably didn't do that. So at the end they could have Cody stare down Roman. But in reality, that would have been even better for Roman. Roman could have looked at a beaten, bruised Cody and then kind of laughed at him for getting beat up, even though he still won. So I agree with you there, Killer Wolf. We got, let's see what else. Kid Wilkes. I like that Sol Ruca won since I was a fan of her in NXT. She kind of had to win. Her call up has sucked so bad. She had to win. Keith Caldwell says, and Rhea stole the belt again. I'm a fan of Jade. I wanted Jade to win, but this one I do fully understand why they gave it to Rhea Ripley. You know, she's their top star. I'm not a big fan of Rhea Ripley, but I do understand that one for sure. Charles Yancey says it was the wrong decision to have Cody retain. I'm over it. Cody's better at chasing the belt. I would have rather much seen Roman versus Gunther at Clash in our Night of Champions than Cody Roman, but it's in Saudi Arabia, so that's the reason. Probably the Saudis wanted Roman Cody 3, and then they were like, give us Roman Cody 3 at Clash or at WrestleMania 43, but we're getting it one way or another. And then Triple H was like, okay, we'll do it here. Shazam Hassan says Gunther does not have the charisma necessary to play the victim like Drew did. Rehashing this story is a mistake. Well, you know, I do agree that Gunther does not have the charisma of Drew. I do agree there. We have Josh G, very predictable show. Predictable. You know, I don't know. It's predictable after the fact. You know, I predicted Oba would win, so I didn't get all mine right. So, but safe. I think I didn't get mine right because I was like, oh, they're gonna try to trick us a little, and they didn't. So I guess on some level it is predictable. I don't see any direction. This is huffing and puffing with Cody winning today. At least if Gunther won, you would have potential, especially with. Yeah, I think I did a video like. If Gunther had won, he could fight LA Knight, and LA Knight could say, you were ducking me and you left. You could have him face Oba Femi if they didn't want Oba to face Roman yet. And then Oba could have won a title off of Gunther. And then, or Brock could have beat Oba and said, all right, now I'm coming for the title. I think there was more opportunities. And then Cody could have went and fought Sami Zayn for a little bit. Let me do like 2 or 3 more. A lot of people thought Gunther should have won, though. Some people said, this is so stupid. You should have had Oba go over. We have Rafael Air. Oba versus Lesnar stole the show. Oba looked strong in defeat because it took 7 F5s to put him down. So yeah, in a bubble, it was a good match. It was a good match for a Brock Lesnar match, but I still don't like it. It sucks that Cody will not go heel anytime soon. Gunther is better off facing Roman than Cody. I agree there. And yeah, it doesn't look like Cody's turning heel anytime soon at all. Roman Reigns acknowledged me. This guy did win the belt giveaway. Don't forget to comment and subscribe to the channel so you can win the belt. And Roman Reigns did get the belt, by the way. I'm trying to get him to send a picture of the belt, but he's been busy. His Mount Rushmore: Austin, Rock, Roman, and Cody. Wow, that's a hot take. Cody as your Mount Rushmore. He's just so good at everything he does and always shows up for work. Okay, well, you know. Who's your Mount Rushmore? Let me know. We got, let me just see. There was one more that I wanted to talk about, but I can't find it. We do have Tuna Tunga says Tribal Combat felt like a traditional no DQ match. I agree there. It should have been more. Rinse and repeat. Tired of TKO booking. Okay. And then Nike fan. Hot take, Corey Graves deserves more credit. Called a match on Saturday night in Mexico that flew all the way. I agree there. Corey Rhodes. Ooh, we got Intelibit, $20. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to read yours after I finish this. Corey Graves went from Mexico to Italy in a 24-hour time frame. In fact, it was like less than 12 hours or because Triple A was done at like midnight, and then he was at in Italy by 2 p.m. So Corey Graves, amazing stuff right there. And then we got Intelibit with a $20 super chat. Everybody wants an epic PLE. Not every month can deliver. Storytelling was light except Roman and Jacob. Tonight, Roman / Jacob, Alexa Charlotte split, Enzo Cass return, the realest guy in the room, and you can't teach that. Gunther needs more character. I prefer Rusev. Next for Chad. Well, so I agree. that I think expectations were a little high, myself included, and this was a B level PLE, and that is fine. You can't always have like, WrestleMania. However, what hurt it was the fact that just the night before on AAA, that had one of the best match lineups. Oh, it was just so good. Plus, if you look at the card on paper, this is a WrestleMania Night 1 card. This is a WrestleMania Night 1 card. Backlash was not a WrestleMania Night 1 card, so you kind of like your expectations for Backlash was way lower. So, but I do get what you're saying until a bit, and you make every point you say is valid. Every point you say is valid. And the last thing I'll just end it on next for Chad Gable. They need to, seriously, Chad Gable needs to walk into WWE tonight, a conquering hero, and say, Penta, I challenge you for the Intercontinental title. Because this whole entire quest started when he lost to Penta. Well, it was actually before he lost to Penta, but it was the loss to Penta that pushed him over the edge to make him go to Mexico, get the Grande Americano mask and put it on. And so for the last year and a half, he has been training to beat luchadors because to overcome luchadors, he must become the thing he hated the most. So he became a luchador. Therefore, now he has returned from his luchador excursion, and Penta is the Intercontinental Champion. It was probably all coincidence, but we have an awesome opportunity here to make it full circle. Chad Gable needs to face Penta and win the Intercontinental title, a title that has historically eluded him even from Gunther to Sami Zayn. Boom, right there. It's picture perfect. Chad Gable gets the perfect ending to his Grande Americano story, while the Grande Americano story continues in AAA. Mwah, chef's kiss right there. All right, boys. All right, girls. I need to go to work. I want to be back for Monday Night Raw. I'm not streaming Monday Night Raw tonight, though. I appreciate every single one of you. I thank you for allowing this fan to tell you his opinions, and I appreciate every single one of you. It was a great weekend for wrestling, and you guys, you gals, you're great people. You're great wrestling fans, and don't let people tell you otherwise. Not that people are saying that, but I'm just saying a lot of times they like to trash on the IWC. It's us, the IWC, we're the most passionate, and I love you. See ya.